cycle your way to good health? That's the question we'll try and answer today on The Good Life with me, Priyanka Sharma. We'll also speak to a fitness expert and ask her some important questions about the pervasive nature of diet culture and the impact it has on all of us. And is it time to say goodbye to those skinny jeans? We'll tell you about all those trends that are going out of style in 2022. But first, as always, let's take a look at what's trending in the Good Scoop.
Artificial sweeteners should no longer be assumed safe, says a peer-reviewed research from Israel. The findings suggest these sweeteners, often considered to be healthier sugar substitutes, may actually increase sugar levels in the body. The study, published in the journal Cell, says that consuming saccharin and sucralose, two common artificial sweeteners, may harm the ability of healthy adults to dispose of glucose in their bodies. Melissa Rauf, a 20-year-old politics student from London, has reached the Miss England final, becoming the first ever makeup-free contestant to participate in the beauty pageant in its 94-year history. She will compete against 40 other women at the Miss England finals in October and says she will go bareface again. Marilyn Monroe fans can rejoice because the iconic American star's early photos are going under the hammer at an auction in New York next month. Also up for sale will be eclectic objects, including a guitar owned by blues legend B.B. King, along with jazz singer Billie Holiday's passport.
The bicycle has evolved as one of the finest machines to address all our lifestyle concerns. It's a great way to burn some calories and also de-stress when there's so much chaos all around us. So this week on The Good Life, we went riding with the cycling club and asked them what's the secret to good health. So what are we waiting for? Let's put the pedal to the metal.
Let's take you back to your childhood, when your cycle was your best companion. You rode off on it to explore new places, seeking new adventures. But as you grew up into your adulthood, chances are the cycle lost its charm. Bicycles were introduced to the world in the 19th century. Today, there are an estimated 1 billion cycles in the world. They are used for many purposes: transportation, recreation, and sport. Cycling is certainly a top-notch aerobic workout. It is loaded with several health benefits. But there's another bonus. If you find like-minded riders to travel along uncharted tracks, you are guaranteed to expand your social circle. It's something this cycling group in India swears by. At the break of dawn, these riders take to the streets of Noida in the national capital region.
Riders, we have to go towards the bridge, and then from we have to make a formation of 3. Ready, guys? Okay, go!
Pedaling at a steady pace in their distinct vests, helmets and shoes, the cyclists can be spotted from afar. These riders belong to a group called the Noida Cycling Club, better known as NCC.
Yes, boss! NCC! Yes, boss! NCC!
The cycling club was founded by Aman Puri to promote a culture of cycling.
We have different kinds of rides which we do. We do a beginner specific ride, we do intermediate rides, and then we do long distance rides. So beginner's ride is somewhere around 20-25 kilometers. This is just to motivate the new set of riders who are joining in, who are resuming cycling after many years, or say who are just very young to go for the long distances. And then the experienced riders who have been riding with us for some years, they are joining us for the longer rides, which is 100 plus or say 150 kilometers at a go. So yes, there are certain rules which has to be taken care, because we are cycling on the open roads, and cycling on the open roads has its own difficulties and obstacles. So say that we have to be in a certain gear, we have to wear a helmet, we have to keep on the left, we have to have all kind of safety and say the first aid kit, and we always have a backup car who's supporting us and with the hydration support. So all these things have been taken care since last 11 years, and that has helped us in getting the right acknowledgement by the recreational cyclist in the city.
From just a handful of riders in the beginning to having over 7,000 members at present, NCC claims to be one of the biggest cycling clubs in Asia today. The members may come from different walks of life and diverse age groups. But they have one thing in common: they just love riding bicycles.
I was more into walking and I wanted a more robust aerobics regime, and as part of that explored certain options. I had not gone much addicted to running by then, and cycling is technically a low impact sport which gives you a huge amount of burn of the calories and is relatively safe.
I teach French online to students all over the world. So I'm usually sitting on my desk and I interact with students on the computer. So it's I don't get much exposure to fresh air. So cycling really helps me to get out and helps me to relax and to gather all my thoughts. So it sort of really charges up the batteries.
Best part of cycling is that you are just free. You feel so free when you are riding the cycle and you don't bother what others are thinking about you, and you are with yourself. Probably you are trying to know who you are. That's the best part I have learned from cycling, that I have come to know a lot of my weaknesses and strengths when I have been cycling.
This activity is not just about burning calories. The riders take short breaks in between to catch their breath and bond with fellow enthusiasts.
We as Noida Cycling Club, we are creating a lot of awareness. We are creating, the enthusiasm among the people to take up the sport of cycling, because cycling all these years in India has been, seen as a means of transport for the labor population, right? And now, cycling has come up in the country as a sport, as something, people take up for a leisure activity or say a fitness activity.
So next time when you want to reduce stress and anxiety, you do know what to do. Get back in the saddle and ride away.
Since we're talking about health and fitness, here's a question for you. Why do you work out? Only to lose weight or for overall good health? Is it healthy to be obsessed with weight loss? And should you talk to your kids about weight at all? I got candid with fitness expert Sumaya Dalmia. Listen in to her advice. Sumaya, I want to start by talking about the holy grail when it comes to fitness, weight loss. Fitness is always equated with weight loss, unfortunately, but you've been very vocal about the fact that weight loss shouldn't be the only goal when you exercise. Tell us more about that.
I feel the primary goal when anybody starts a fitness program, it always 99% of the time has something to do with weight. And I think, as we're growing older, yes, of course, everybody likes to look good, but there are many other parameters to health and fitness and not just weight. So, of course, you as a woman, you need to build your muscle strength. As a man, you need to make sure your posture is good. You need to be flexible. So there's so many components of fitness that actually make a healthy, efficient body other than just weight. So for me, if you're following a correct nutrition plan, if you're eating 80% of the time really well, if you're exercising 3 to 4 hours a week, eventually the weight loss will just be a byproduct. And I've also noticed a lot of times people end up losing weight when they actually stop thinking about it.
That's a very interesting point. I want to talk about something else, very important as well. You're a mother yourself. How do we talk to kids about weight, or should we at all, especially when we know how pervasive diet culture is?
You know, this generation is totally different. Even if you want to reach out to them and say that, listen, you shouldn't be eating sugar, you know, they'll just turn around and tell you, stop body shaming us. So, you know, it's very tough to strike the right balance. And I think instead of dictating, if you overall adopt a healthy lifestyle in your house, what food you put out on the table, you know, how your kids see you eat your food, how you lay out the dinner table. So, you know, in terms of protein, fats, and carbohydrates, what you cook, the medium in which you cook is actually better. That's all you can control, because rest of the time the children are outside. They have access to all, you know, sweet treats or whatever cheap treats that they have.
Unfortunately, carbs are always treated as the enemy, but now awareness is rising about eating all food groups for a sustainable way of life. How can we stop demonizing carbs?
A well-balanced diet should have all the food groups, but the component of vegetables, which includes your fiber, your protein, fats, needs to be a reasonably large chunk. And as you grow older, depends on your activity levels. Do you want to limit the portion of the, you know, the rice and the roti and the multigrain that you want to put on your plate? Because at the end of the day, you know, if you're more sedentary, the body's holding on to a lot of sugar, there's a lot of insulin havoc in the body. It's, you know, it's very scientific, but you end up, you know, storing a lot more fat. So I wouldn't say you need to actually give up carbs, give up starchy grains. It's actually just look at where the grains are coming from. Are they over processed? Are they coming from pizzas and burgers? So my only thing is make sure you eat a lot of vegetables. So vegetables should make half your plate. The rest 1/4 should be protein. It could be, you know, non-vegetarian sources are the best sources of protein. But having said that, vegetarians also have good sources of protein. And that little bit left should be a fat. So it could be the medium ghee that your food is cooked in, or olive oil, or avocado oil, or mustard oil. And that little bit that's left at the bottom, that's your grain. So Indians, if you notice now that I've, you know, tried to visualize this plate for you, Indians actually eat the reverse. They have all their starches covering half the plate. Then they have the vegetables on the other half, and the protein quantity is like the least. So you just need to like rework it.
This is going to be an interesting one. One fitness myth that you'd like to bust today, the most common misconception about working out.
That working out only makes you lose weight. So working out is not your excuse to eat unhealthy, not at all. So I think if you have aesthetic goals, if you have wellness goals which are related to any kind of intolerances, if you have any other fitness goal, nutrition and fitness go hand in hand. I've seen people work out 2 hours a day in the gym, but then they go out and eat what they want. That's you'll obviously become stronger in the gym, but the aesthetic changes that you're looking for, you'll never see that. So I say that 90% you are what you eat, and that radiates through not just with balancing of your weight, but your skin, your hair, just overall the energy in your body.
Sumaya, just a final question here. You're a strong advocate of lifting weights. Women often think they become too bulky or big if they lift. Why should we try out strength training?
Firstly, women don't have the male hormones as in excess like testosterone that men have. And we also don't lift weights to the count of what men lift. So women should actually lift at least what they functionally would need on an everyday basis. So imagine if you have to pick up your child, up till the age of 1, a grown-up baby weighs anywhere between 6 to 11 kilos. So you need to have the strength to keep the right posture when you pick up your baby. So this is all functional strength. If you're traveling, you want to get your belt suitcases off the belt, you need to have the right functional strength to pick up 25 kilos each off the belt. So you need to at least lift that kind of weight that improves your functional strength. So even if you want to look at it that way, scientifically and logically, it should be that you need to do strength training to at least go on with everyday lifestyle routine.
Right, Sumaya, that wraps up our interview. Thank you so much for giving us time, and thanks for joining us on WION. So how many hours do you sleep in a day? 5 hours, 6 hours? And if you're lucky, a sound 7 hours. Sleep deprivation has been linked to a series of health ailments, from affecting your metabolism to an increased risk of heart disease and even obesity. And now doctors are warning that there may be a link between sleep deprivation and a rising risk of diabetes. Take a look.
A peaceful night's slumber, an uninterrupted 8 hours of sleep, a slumber party just for one. If you're yawning while watching this, chances are you're sleep deprived. And you're not alone. Even before COVID entered our lives, the sleep epidemic loomed large as one of the biggest lifestyle disorders of the 21st century. Simply put, we're not sleeping enough. We're shuffling office work, family time, social commitments, some much-needed physical activity, and when you finally hit the sack to get some sleep, your smart gadgets take over. And there you are, endlessly scrolling till you finally doze off. Then you wake up groggy, hitting the snooze button multiple times. So, how much sleep do you need? This varies according to age, but if you're between 18 and 60 years old, you should be getting at least 7 hours of sound sleep. Poor sleeping habits can lead to many health ailments, which have been well documented, from a rise in blood pressure to increased risk of heart attack, from low immunity to fight infections to an inability to lose weight. The CDC says it can even increase your risk of depression and anxiety. But apart from short-term consequences, research shows that sleep deprivation can increase insulin resistance, thereby worsening sugar control, which may lead to diabetes. And conversely, diabetes can also impact one's sleep. Moreover, lack of sleep causes stress in the body. This leads to increased secretion of the stress hormone cortisol, which may contribute to a spike in blood sugar levels. You don't need more reasons to prioritize your sleep. So, get some exercise in the day, remove smart gadgets from your bedroom, set a bedtime routine for yourself, just as you would for a child. Try and sleep like a baby, and you may just wake up a changed person.
They say trends come and go faster than you can blink. The Y2K trend recently made a comeback. There was a coastal grandmother trend as well, which is still raging. And now if you switch on social media, there's a wave of pink sweeping the internet. It's called Barbiecore. But what about all those trends that have come and gone? In our next story, we tell you about all the styles that are now in the fashion recycle bin. Take a look. 2022. Some would call it a year of predictable, unoriginal fashion. Inspired by forgotten trends, as the world recovered from the pandemic and slowly opened up, we threw out our jammies and athleisure sets and begrudgingly returned to our closets for inspiration. So far, 2022 has been stocked up with fleeting fashion trends. From the Y2K trend, which was all about nostalgia, to the coastal grandmother look, a popular TikTok trend where you shopped for grandmother essentials. Like a button-down shirt, chunky sweater and classic white pants. We also saw the return of jorts or jean shorts, and even flip-flops. But all these trends went away in the blink of an eye. So if you're cleaning your closet, it's time to say goodbye to these styles. We all have that pair of skinny jeans lying at the back of our closet. Well, leave it there. Because 2022 and the upcoming year will be all about loose and comfortable fits. Baggy flared pants are having their moment right now. The bigger the sleeve, the more trendy the look. This is now a mantra to forget. Because the puff sleeve is on its way out, at least for everyday wear. But if you love a good sleeve, we suggest you save it for special occasions. There was a time we were all chopping down our gym tights to make the perfect cycling shorts. The Kardashians inspired the trend and the world followed. But fashion gurus say it's time to keep those biker shorts limited to your workouts. Who can explain to us the purpose of tiny palm-sized handbags? Anyone? What these micro bags could store is a mystery the world has not solved yet. It was a fashion joke which became trendy, but convenience trumps trend, and these tiny bags are on their way out. We've all been there, tried the tie-dye trend for those onesies, co-ord sets and family outfits. But it's time to ditch our favorite tie-dye hoodies, lest we irk the fashion police. And this one may make quite a lot of us shake our heads in disbelief. But it's time to stop wearing tone-on-tone neutral shades. Color bombs and color blocking are taking over our feeds. And it may be time for us to experiment with some bold colors. While the fast fashion market is booming, people are steadily moving towards sustainable fashion. It's not woke anymore to keep filling up your closets with fast fashion. Recycling outfits and spending more on quality is a trend we fully endorse. There are many other styles which probably won't make it to 2023, from tunics to mirrored sunglasses, high-waisted jeans to skater skirts. We wouldn't say throw out all these things because remember, trends come in cycles. What's fashion blasphemy today may be a hot trend next year. So instead of buying into a trend, learn to shop from your closet. And with that, it's time now to wrap up this show. Thanks for watching The Good Life with me, Priyanka Sharma. Send us all your feedback. Tell us what else you'd like to see on the show. And always remember to enjoy your weekend.